What a football match we have witnessed. But Arsenal fight back to earn a point at the Emirates, kind of very similar to what happened at the Etihad last season. I want to hear everyone talk about how Pep Guardiola subbed all his forwards and played all defense with no red card. But we'll talk about it because Arsenal got a lot of criticism for it last season at the Etihad with 10 men. But yes, let's talk about it. But Arsenal come back to fight in the second half with Martinelli, Eze, Nwaneri, Saka, Eucharist. Everyone is on the pitch trying for Arsenal, and Man City fighting for their life and actually tried to hold on to the 3 points, but they got hit by a brilliant long ball by Eze and a fantastic finish by Martinelli. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about what it means for the title race and how did I see the Arsenal game today and how did I see the game from Manchester City perspective and how is Pep Guardiola changing things as well. Hit that like button if you are here. If you're new here, help me by liking the video, of course, underneath. Let's get to 1 like for every view. If you can do that, that'll be great. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. Help me get to 50,000 subscribers. We are very close to that achievement with your help. Let me know in the comment section, do you think a draw is fair result? Or you think Arsenal or Man City should have walked away to the 3 points? And also answer me this. Do you think now Liverpool might walk away with it, might run away with it? Now that Liverpool are ahead of everyone on the table, of course. But I'm going to start by a couple of things. I'm going to start by saying, we're going to talk about the pros. This man is a freak. He's an absolute freak of nature. The goal Man City scored, it was absolutely down to his work. Absolutely brilliant between players. And he was fantastic. What a fantastic striker. A guy that is developing and getting even better by the game at the age of he's still young. He's not even at his peak, scoring goals left and right. What a football player. And Pep Guardiola setting up his team to play on transition and the counter-attack from minute 1 is nothing short of an extraordinary. This is Pep Guardiola's lowest position ever since he coached Manchester City. Ever. And yet he was leading the majority of the game. I'm going to start by Man City by saying the plan that he came with looked successful because Arsenal in the first half didn't look like they were going to get any close to the goal of Man City. And Man City took the lead with ease, actually, because a couple of passes and they were 3-on-2 with Reinders, Doku, and Haaland running against Timber and Gabriel only. Against Saliba. And easy peasy pass and Erling Haaland scores. That was a brilliant and a fantastic, manufactured goal by Man City. It looks like they knew exactly how to hit Arsenal, of course, on the transition. Arsenal defense didn't look as strong. I thought that, if I'm being completely honest, Doku has had a brilliant and a phenomenal game against them. He looked everywhere. He was fantastic and phenomenal. Doku was arguably, for me, one of the best players on the pitch, if not the best player on the pitch, in my opinion. If he continues with his form, he's absolutely ridiculous. Can Man City go and actually try to get the title? I am maybe. If there is, because we know that this game is not a representation of how Man City will play for the majority of the season. You cannot tell me that Man City will approach games with a 33% ball position against the majority of the team. So I am yet to see Man City play their full throttle game against oppositions, because even against Man United, they actually had 40% ball position, so they played on transition. Unless you want to convince me that Pep Guardiola is, and I'm going to ask you if you're a Man City fan, will Pep Guardiola completely change the philosophy and the way he plays? Because I don't think so. I doubt that it is going to happen, to be honest with you. So I think that Pep Guardiola will go back to the position-based football and actually dominate position and attack. So we'll see at that time how the defense did work. But today, I thought the defense was pretty damn good. I thought Man City played a good game. I'm going to have the same energy that I had for Arsenal last season, going away to the Emirates. And even though the goal that Arsenal scored was late, it's a good point for Manchester City, because there's a lot of people that said that they don't see Manchester City winning this game, leading the majority of the game and preventing the goals. And Donnarumma preventing the corners from going in. I think that was a very good performance by Pep Guardiola and Manchester City. They are within a touching distance from Liverpool. Still, well, they are 8 points behind Liverpool. So they lost 2 and drew 1. So, however, we'll see how it goes. I don't think they are up there with Liverpool, but we're yet to see. Like Arsenal currently have 10 points only, 5 points behind Liverpool. But listen, there is still time for both clubs to recover. That point actually will feel good for both teams. It won't feel bad for either of them. It will feel good. But let me talk about Eberechi Eze and how he changed the game. Eberechi Eze. Now, from the Arsenal perspective, I saw Arsenal was super poor in the first half. Is it down to having Mikel Merino? And I'm going to ask you a question. If you're an Arsenal fan, what was Mikel Merino's job on and off the ball, offensively and defensively? The guy wasn't involved in the build-up play as much, and he didn't even get in the 18 as much, and he didn't provide anything. I didn't know why Mikel. I kept asking myself, why did Mikel Arteta choose him to play today? He was arguably, probably, the worst player on the pitch. With all that position, he only completed 18 passes. Like, you are a midfielder and you only completed 18 passes. Like, I don't think that is enough. I don't think Mikel Merino was needed in this game at all. And I don't know why Mikel Arteta chose to keep Eze, Nwaneri on the bench. Like, play one of them and then move on from there and have people off the bench to change the game. But you can't just play that midfield against Man City. I don't think it was needed, to be honest. However, credit to Mikel Arteta for actually making the subs at halftime. I'm going to give him credit. It's one of the first times that Mikel Arteta actually makes the change at halftime. Madueke in the first half looked okay, looked good, driven, direct, going to the opposition, causing a lot of problems for Man City, but without an end product. I thought the sub from Mikel Arteta to put Bukayo Saka was pretty good. Bukayo Saka, when he came on, you can tell that there is a difference between how the opposition stand against Madueke and how the opposition stand against Bukayo Saka. I think that is why I called it an agenda when people said that Madueke should start ahead of Saka. It's not even a comparable situation. There is no comparison. Saka is miles better than Madueke. But Mikel Arteta changes tactics a little bit because as they look to play central, as they look to play as a complete number 10 there instead of Mikel Merino, I think that his heat map showed left, right. He was everywhere on the pitch, and that is the difference between him and Mikel Merino, the guy that started in the first half. Mikel Merino was not doing anything on the pitch. He was playing to the right side and not providing Arsenal anything. But Eberechi Eze, and all I have to say is, to be honest with you, that pass and the weight of the pass from Eze towards Martinelli is what I was telling you about Eze and the quality that he possesses. And that's why he can take something. Like, normally Arsenal don't play these long balls as much, but he's someone who will step out of the line and do them. And that is what he offers, to be honest. And that pass was absolutely brilliant. Martinelli with the run and the finish was absolutely spot on and brilliant. Of course, that finish was amazing. However, I would say that Donnarumma was in no man's land. There was no reason for him to come out. He just cost... Yes, the goal was great, but he cost his team 2 points, in my opinion, Donnarumma, because Martinelli was still pressed by Nathan Ake. He might have finished it, he might not. Brilliant finish, but Donnarumma is at fault. But it doesn't take anything away from Martinelli and that finish, to be honest with you. Calafiori looked all right on the pitch today, looked good. I thought Timber struggled for Arsenal a little bit against Doku. I thought Saliba, Erling Haaland, that battle was a 50-50. But I'm going to ask you guys something, especially if you're a Man City fan. Are you going to sit down and criticize Pep Guardiola as people criticized Mikel Arteta last season? Are people going to be disingenuous, or are people going to be honest? Because at the end, the plan didn't work. The mentality. Where is the mentality that Rodri's talking about? Where was that mentality? We go there for the win, blah, blah, blah. And Arsenal last season did the same. Where is that mentality? You know what I mean? Where is that mentality? If you're gonna talk about defensive, yes, Man City defended so much in this game as much as Arsenal, but Arsenal defended with 10 men. To be honest, last season, and people talk about the mentality. That's what I'm talking about, to be honest. But I'm gonna say something. I think this will give a push to Arsenal. I think this draw will actually give Arsenal a push a little bit because it came at the end, because it was hard for point for Arsenal Football Club. And I actually think that Martinelli is responding to people as well. I'm going to speak a little bit about Martinelli. He's responding to people and he's telling everyone that he is trying to prove a point to people that he can be a player for Arsenal and he doesn't have to be sold. But I'm going to say this. Maybe off the bench is the answer for him. Maybe he's not a starter for Arsenal. I want to hear you guys. I want to hear your opinion. Is Martinelli responding to everyone? Is Martinelli telling everyone that he's here to stay for Arsenal Football Club? And Bukayo Saka has to start for Arsenal. You can tell the difference when he comes on. Bukayo Saka has to start. Martinelli off the bench. But there is something that we need to talk about. Victor Gyökeres is not used at all. Like, he was taken out of the game completely. He was not involved. And I think his movement was not great. He did a couple of good movements, to be honest, in the channels behind the lines, but he did nothing with it. I believe it was a game that maybe there was no use for him. I don't know who else is there because Kai Havertz is not there. But Manchester City completely took him out of the game. He wasn't used at all. He wasn't. And I think every time he got the ball as well, he didn't do anything. So that is something that I want to understand. If you're going to sign a striker and you're not putting the ball for him, what is happening? You're not even getting him involved in the game at all, Mikel Arteta. So you need to actually get him involved. Like even when Man City were defending, and I have to give credit to Pep Guardiola, Erling Haaland was always involved. He was always involved in the game. He was always holding up the play. He was always trying to hold off Saliba and Gabriel and prevent them from playing. He was trying to get touches, trying to play Doku in. And I thought that Erling Haaland got involved in the game from the defensive team, which is Man City, more than Victor Gyökeres. Who, yes, Gyökeres scored against Leeds. Yes, Gyökeres did well the other day and had a goal. But in my opinion, I think Arsenal maybe need to use more volume of chances created, more volume of like crosses or something like this, better movement from him. That is maybe what they need to do. Before we leave the thing, I want to hear your opinion. Is it a fair result? Hit that like button, people, please. And subscribe to the channel if you are new. And turn on the notification bell because we're going live. We go live all the time, talk about the games. And I will see you guys later, of course.